Comments should be limited to issues, items germane to the business of the governing body. The Commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor will the Commission make decisions or items presented during this time. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for comments. Is there any public comment of a general nature?
Yes. Good evening, City Commission. Daniel Lowing, Lawrence, Kansas, 66047. I'm making an appeal this evening. Please do not allow for the closure of 9th Street for the holidays. A calendar rundown. November 27th is Thanksgiving. November 28th, which is a Friday, is the last football game with the University of Utah. December 1 is when a proposed closure of 9th Street is to happen. On December 6th, that same week, the Lawrence Old-Fashioned Christmas Parade with possibly 35,000 people coming to view the parade, and this city plans on closing 9th Street, a main route for the parade attendees. December 12th is the last day of finals. Hanukkah begins on the 14th, and Monday, the tentative demolition of the stadium is to begin. Thursday is Christmas, the 25th. Kwanzaa is on the 26th. New Year's Day is Thursday, and the students will be back in town by the 20th. So that gives the contractors about 5 weeks of demolition time. The present attempt to install stormwater lines along 8th Street has only progressed one city block in about 500 feet in 6 months. Tennessee, which has started in May, is not finished yet. The project is a total mess. It was to be completed in August, and now they want to start on 9th Street. No. Finish the first phase. Today, there were more excavations, large ones, 8 feet by 8 feet, down by 6th Street into Tennessee. The asphalt batch plants will be closing soon for winter. And we've got all these roads tore up all over town. I must believe that the closure of 9th Street has nothing to do with the immediate excavation of 9th Street to install new storm, sewer, and sanitary lines. The barricading of 9th Street is to block the daily traffic so the demolition crews will have full access of 9th Street to remove the stadium concrete debris. It will become a demolition boulevard. The University of Kansas could care less about the business along 9th Street. As these businesses attempt to celebrate the holidays with their yearly faithful patrons, they are being treated by the city and the university as a doormat and not the golden threshold which they are to this gateway project. The university has forbidden the display of a single string of holiday lights on campus. This should be a well-known fact that the campus has as a haven for secular humanists, and the University of Kansas could care less about the holidays. And yes,
thank you, Dan.
In the name of Jesus Christ, thank you.
Thank you.
Eric Hyde, 66046. I'm just gonna model this for a second. I do it for myself to control myself. In for 4, hold, out for 6. So I'll just say some things I wanted to say. My son has what's called a hemangioma. It's like a growth on the lip. I've taken him to Lawrence Otolaryngology, and they delayed treatment. And I trusted them. I was kind of iffy about it, but
do we have any control over this stuff?
Yes, I just want you to know.
Okay, I appreciate that, but I want to make sure. Is it Lawrence Hospital?
Oh, it's sorry, I'm running out of time. It's on 6th Street, 6th and Main. They delayed treatment. I went to Children's Mercy North. They did try to get an appointment there, but the fact is that the doctors at Lawrence Otolaryngology delayed treatment for my son. There's just medicine. It's called propranolol. It costs like $14. You don't even need insurance to buy it. I didn't pay for it with insurance. But anyway, the doctor at Children's Mercy said he's expected to have a permanent scar on his lip. So that was kind of upsetting to me. I thought about busting the doctor's lip myself, but I didn't. Because it says that medicine can be given within the first week that they have it after birth. And they're denying all responsibility. All right, that's done. Second thing, food stamps. I want to clear up this food stamp thing. There's a bunch of lies going on NPR about it. I love listening to NPR.
Okay, again, we don't have any control.
I know. I want you to know about it, though. This is part of. Nope. Do not stop me. You're being rude right now. I receive food stamps. I'm on disability. They didn't stop mine. Just wanted to say that. All right. So, lastly, I was interrupted twice during my comment, so I should get a little bit more time, maybe about 15 more seconds. I have a good idea that I think public servants in this city should be strongly encouraged to do volunteer service to show this community that they care. That's it. That's all I need. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just hold it. Hold it for a second.
Okay. Yeah, hello. My name's Hank Garisco of Lawrence, Kansas. I saw on the agenda item tonight there was something about buying or renting golf carts. Did that come up already, or?
That was on the consent agenda.
It was on what?
On the consent agenda, which we started the meeting with.
Oh, it was.
Items are the consent agenda.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I'm sorry about that, but it kind of relates to that in a way.
Rather you speak to something.
But I guess, okay. I was just amazed to see that there was $575,009.35 for renting, what was it, elite titanium golf carts for 5 years. And it kind of struck me because before I was aware of that, I had this little thing written out about the wrong-headed decision to charge citizens of Douglas County for the use of recreation facilities. Mm-hmm. And I think it'd be a little bit strange to be able to spend $575,009.35 to rent titanium golf carts for elite citizens of Douglas County who golf and not have the recreation facilities open for everyone, for the public to use for free. Because it's well known that physical exercise is essential to maintain personal health as we age. Aerobics and strength training can control blood pressure, prevent diabetes, as well as bone loss. Therefore, making these facilities freely available to all county residents should be a public health priority. Besides contributing to the public good, preventative health care, such as regular exercise, makes economic sense. How much money can be saved by curtailing emergency room visits due to acute heart conditions? Okay, we know this. I mean, this is common knowledge. But if an appeal to public health is not sufficient, then there's another argument which I'd like to bring up. When the Rock Chalk facility was first proposed, citizens of Douglas County were assured that no fees would ever be charged for its use, since it would be paid for by Douglas County residents via a bond. Maybe an analogy would put the situation in a different light that shows how absurd this is. Suppose you go to a dealership and buy a vehicle. You make regular payments, a couple of years, then one day the dealer decides to charge you an additional monthly fee to use the car you already bought. How would you respond to that? Would you get annoyed? Would you call a lawyer? I mean, what would happen? It doesn't seem right? So the recent decision to charge for the use of these, of at least the Rock Chalk facility, is more than a breach of trust. It seems to be a failure of this body to fulfill its fiduciary responsibility to the citizens of Douglas County. Could be the basis of a class action lawsuit if there was a lawyer like maybe Ron Kuby still around or something like that. But, I don't know. It just seems kind of crazy. Then I see this thing about, 5,000, 100, whatever.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Wait.
Thank you very much.
right. My name is Dr. Justin Spees. In December of 2023, I filed a federal lawsuit in Kansas District Court against the Lawrence Public Library for violating my First and 14th Amendment rights in two separate incidents. The first took place on May 17th, 2023, and the second took place on June 11th, 2023. I later amended the complaint, adding more violations from incidents that occurred in late 2024 and going into March 2025. And just so we're clear, this lawsuit and what I'm about to say are germane to the City Commission's business for multiple reasons, and one of them is that the mayor sits on the library board of directors and has voting authority over its business. So that lawsuit was dismissed in September at the summary judgment stage, and yesterday, November 10th, I filed an appeal to the 10th Circuit in Denver, Colorado. The appeal argues that multiple errors were made by the judge in her decision to dismiss, including Rule 56 violation for evidence review, the library's unconstitutional free speech activities policy and its application to me, content and viewpoint discrimination and retaliation analysis, along with forum analysis error and the resulting level of scrutiny applied, comparator analysis error, and overlooking unequal protection. So this lawsuit, along with a separate lawsuit that I have filed against this city commission here, are now both currently on appeal to the 10th Circuit. So stay tuned for that. And you know what else I'm going to say. So earlier, that speaker spoke on all kinds of things that weren't related to the business of the city commission here. It wasn't germane, was what you guys would call it. Mm-hmm. And you allowed him to speak. Yeah, you stopped him, but you didn't. You let him keep going, and you didn't remove him. Whereas in the past, and it's part of the lawsuit that I just mentioned that I filed and is on an appeal, the second you thought that I had gone off topic, the second, which I was on topic as well, but the second I went off topic, I was out of here, removed by the police. And matter of fact, after that speaker, then another speaker came up here and you allowed him to speak on an agenda item that had already taken place earlier in this meeting. And you guys, Amber Sellers, one of them, Bart Littlejohn, another one, have stopped me for speaking. Sherry Riedemann as well weighed in on that. Stopped me for speaking because you claimed that agenda item had already taken place, and so I wasn't allowed to talk on it. But you allowed him to do that. So we just see more of these inconsistencies. Part of the reason for the appeal for my lawsuit against you guys is precisely that stuff right there. So you all claim this germane standard, but then allow speakers to what we just saw right here, just talk about things you have absolutely no control over whatsoever, and that's perfectly fine for you guys. So those double standards and those inconsistencies are anti-American. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Dr. Spees.
Again.
Hi, this is Chris Flowers. I just want to start out saying, if you guys would use YouTube again, it wouldn't be as big of a deal when there's technical difficulties on Zoom, because then if people who used to be able to watch YouTube now have to zoom in to see what's going on live. So if something happens on Zoom, they're fucked. So I just like to say, why can't we go back to YouTube? And then if it's because they're going to be cussing during public comment, did you see some of the comments that were said earlier? I mean, they're cussing throughout the whole meeting. So why, if they're cussing throughout the whole meeting, why is it such a big deal that we have to shut it down during public comment, that we're willing to then screw over people who just want, like the average citizen tuning in to see what's going on with their city commission? They're being screwed over when Zoom, there's technical difficulties on Zoom and they don't have YouTube to go back as a second option, at least. Also, I would just like to say, I think during public comment, you should let people speak about stuff that's not germane, because I'm going to argue food stamps are germane, because if the government stops food stamps for people, are they going to need more assistance from you all locally? And if the answer is yes, then why isn't someone telling you their hardship? And I'm just going to argue that in general. Someone up here talking about their hardship, I'm going to say that is germane to the city, because aren't you all supposed to be solving the hardships of the community? So if the community's up here explaining their hardships to you, who are you to say, oh, that's not germane to our business? And also, what about when someone comes up here with a poem where it is germane, but you have to read between the lines? How are you going to determine what's germane and what's not, unless you give the person a chance to speak? But I mean, sometimes you do give them a chance and it's not germane. So why not just let it not be germane now? Because it's really, I don't see how y'all are supposed to judge when it's germane and when it's not. So just let it all be non-germane during public comment. Also, I hope y'all choose a mayor based on merit when it comes time to choose a mayor, because this stuff that I'm talking about, that's what a mayor does. He decides when it's germane and when it's not. So if this is a problem, which it seems to be every year, because every year there's someone here talking about how y'all aren't doing it right. So why don't you have that conversation about how to do it right when you're all choosing a mayor? Thank you.
Any other public comment in the room? All right, up on line.
We have 3. John Latham. John Latham. We can't hear you, John. We're going to need you to unmute.
Okay, it keeps flashing off and on. This is John Latham, 66047. You hear me now?
Yes, sir, John.
Yeah, I don't really wait anxiously to talk on these things, but when I do watch these meetings and I see the interruptions and disruptiveness of certain commentary, I mean, my comments are germane, because what I see happening to City Hall, to the people that are managing City Hall, you guys, and then you have to deal with some of this. There's no way to say it. There's no rational rhyme or reason or legitimate claim to be able to speak the way that you're being spoken to by certain individuals who seem to truly engage in disruptive, distractive, and divisive rhetoric. I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing this happening to the city. And it's actually kind of depressing to watch it. So in that simple fact, it is germane, because I believe you folks need to be able to do what you're doing. It's complicated, it's challenging. There may be pros and cons to some of the approaches that you all take as individuals and or collectively, but you're the ones that took on the job. You're the ones that are getting voted in. And there's only so many few of us who may have absurd or out of reach comments or ideas, or completely just challenge. There's people that just want to challenge and cause disruption in that manner. And I'm personally tired of seeing it happen to this particular City Hall process. God bless you all. God take care of you all. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Stephen Watts.
Aye. Jesus Christ and God ain't got nothing to do with any of this shit going on here in Lawrence, Kansas on this video feed. So please tell that prior commenter to go sit down and shut up. Where is he coming from? It's some funny stuff. It really is. Hey, here's the deal. There's so much. I mean, do you comment on what's already what these other commenters are talking about, or do you comment on what your original post was all about? Here's the deal. Our internet website does not provide information that is correct for utilization by people in Lawrence or anybody else. I have sent the town commission and the people in charge of the show to the prior, I'm going to say it, motherfucker. Yeah, that's right. You got to communicate with these people in the way that they understand, my brother. They don't understand trying to help. Oh. Our town website says that we go back to 2023. Ain't that right, Mayor Dever? Ain't that right? All the rest of you? I sent all of you an email about it, and then it's going on, and it'll get fixed, and I understand that. But why has our town web pages sit for almost 3 motherfucking years and not been corrected? You know, the utilization of blue language or, you know, colorful language, I get it, you know. Is it acceptable or not? I don't know. But what I do know is that when you ask nicely for anything to go on in this motherfucking town, you are addressed with, what's your problem, boy? We're doing this the best we can. Don't you understand? But I do understand. And these guys are now getting paid market rate wages, over $100,000 a year. I see you there, Brad, and I see you there, Amber, you lady. We could go on and on forever. When are you people going to take charge of the town instead of allowing these people? They're well-intentioned. They're good people for the most part. There are a couple of them where they're just stone motherfuckers that want to run the town like they think they can. Well, they can't. Fortunately, there's you guys, and there's also some other folks involved. Can you please...
Steve, that's it.
Thank you, Mark. Mike, goodbye.
That's all the comments, Mayor.
All right. It's a motion to adjourn.
No move. Second.
Motion to adjourn by Sellers, seconded by Finkeldye. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Good night, everybody.
Good night.